Jim Jones hasn't stopped talking lately, and this time, the story's finally caught up to him. From altering Dipset history to walking back old conflicts, fans are calling him out for the constant People are tired, the receipts are everywhere, and Jim's credibility is hanging on by a thread.
The rock star look. Who came up with that? You or Joel's?
The rock and roll look? That's my look. That's my look. Joel's is my little brother. I started the whole aesthetic. Wasn't nobody dressing like rock stars at all. Nowhere near the game. It wasn't thinking about it. I created that whole style and implemented it into the hip hop culture. You dig? But yeah, I set the torch up for the rock star rap look. I've always been dressing like a white boy since high school. I've been wearing motorcycle jackets and shit like that since high school. I got a different style than most.
And I know Wayne, he started dressing like that.
Yeah, we gave it to Wayne. He came to Dipset school, was with us for a whole summer. He was with Wells for a whole summer. And naturally, it's
At this point, it feels like every time Jim Jones speaks, he digs a deeper hole. The Harlem rapper, once seen as a solid figure in New York hip-hop, is now being criticized for contradicting his own accounts, shifting details, and trying to rewrite Dipset's past. Fans are finally saying they've had enough. What makes it worse is that Jim has been doing interview after interview trying to repair his image. But every new comment ends up hurting him even more. This all really escalated when Jim started his latest podcast run, claiming he built Dipset from the ground up. He said that without him, there would be no movement, no fashion influence, and no global Harlem impact. But the internet moves fast. Fans immediately pulled up old interviews and receipts that disproved what he said. Clips resurfaced of Cameron explaining how he gave Jim his first real platform and even funded the early Dipset projects. So when Jim claimed, "I created Dipset," fans had no problem correcting him. "No, you joined Dipset."
Some comments about Nas that got a lot of people coming at you, man. But as a New York rapper, I want to ask you, do you feel like you get your respect?
Yeah, I definitely get my respect as a New York rapper. My name's Capo. Don't let the motherfucking internet fool you, my brother. You heard?
And that's just one of the claims, putting his reputation in question. Jim has been telling different versions of the same stories for years. Whether he's talking about how Dipset split, who stopped talking to who, or who was responsible for the group's success, the details shift every time, and the people who were actually there, like Cam and Ma$E, keep calling him out. Recently, MAE went on It Is What It Is and said, "Jim been lying on my name for years, but now people see it for themselves." Fans reacted immediately because they knew he wasn't wrong. Jim has been changing narratives to make himself seem like the leader. Even his old beefs don't match up anymore. He'll say one thing about the Locks and their versus battle, then change the story later and claim he wasn't taking it seriously. He'll talk about making peace with Ma$E, then throw shade in the next interview. It's like he can't decide if he wants to be the victim or the villain. The streets are tired of it, too. Hip-hop fans used to respect Jim for his hustle. He was never the strongest lyricist, but he was steady. Now that steadiness feels more like denial. Every few months, he appears to defend himself from something new. And instead of looking confident, he looks unsure. At this point, people are realizing Jim's biggest problem isn't Cam, MAE, or Jadakiss. It's his own words.
Going around right now asking if it's Nas or Jim Jones.
What's the question?
Nas or Jim Jones?
I'm a Harlem nigga. I will never ever disrespect Nas, first and foremost. Jimmy, that's the bro. That's Uncle Jomo, but first and foremost, he need to sit his ass fuck.
Nas or Jim Jones?
Nas.
Nas or Jim Jones? Nas.
Nas or Jim Jones?
Nas.
All right. Nas or Jim Jones?
Is that a serious question?
Yes, it is.
It's Nas, bro.
All right.
Jim Jones is a clown.
Nas or Jim Jones?
Come on. Is that a question?
Yo.
Is that a question?
Hey, yo.
Nas or Jim Jones?
Come
though.
on.
I ain't say who.
Yo.
Nas.
Nas for the folks.
All right. Nas or Jim Jones?
Said Nas or Jim Jones? Oh, Nas.
Nas or Jim Jones?
Oh, Nas. I ain't gonna lie.
Let's go.
Fuck Jim Jones, though.
All right.
Let's be honest. Jim Jones's biggest issue has always been his ego. Instead of letting his work speak for itself, he constantly tries to control the narrative, and it's finally catching up to him. In one interview, he brags about keeping Dipset together. In the next, he blames everyone else for his struggles. When fans highlighted these contradictions online, Jim got defensive, claiming people were twisting his words. The reality? No one is twisting anything, he just can't keep his story consistent. Major turning point came when Ma, $E and Cameron launched It Is What It Is. They started casually sharing Dipset stories, and fans began connecting the dots. It became clear Jim wasn't the strong leader he often claimed. $E even said, "Jim talked like he was the general, but we all know who built the empire, and it wasn't him." That single comment broke the internet. Fans flooded social media, pulling up old videos where Jim called himself the capo, claiming he ran the crew. And it didn't stop there. Weeks later, Jim got caught in another contradiction. In a recent interview, he claimed he never had serious beef with Jadakiss and Styles P, saying the Versus battle was just friendly competition, but fans remember him being visibly upset afterward, insisting Dipset didn't lose 7, though the battle's outcome was clear. Jadakiss even mocked him later on the radio, saying, "Don't rewrite history, bro, you know what happened." The fans found it hilarious because it was true.
Being honest, right, and you looking back at your career, where will you rank yourself among New York rappers? Top 10, top 15, top 20?
Where did I rank myself? I don't care about top 10 ranks. I care about the money. You heard? And you talking about all these artists that came in after me. I came in after them, Ralph, you heard? And I started as a hype man. And right now I am the hype man, as you can see all over the internet. Big difference, you heard? I'm talking about present day and what we're doing right now. I ain't worried about what's going on in the past. I don't worry about what you used to do or what you used to do. What can you do right now? You heard? And if you're not in it, you're not in it. You dig? But I'm in it wholeheartedly. And I wrap circles around anybody who beg to differ. Tell them meet me in the booth. That's all we got to talk about. There ain't no shot at no one in particular person. But yeah, you know what's up? I'm from that era. Engagement era. You heard?
Then there's the situation with MAE. Jim has tried to downplay their issues, acting like it was all love and misunderstandings. But fans haven't forgotten his old rants, where he called $E a fake pastor and threw shots about money. Now suddenly, it's all smiles and love. People see right through it. He's clearly trying to repair his image after years of reckless talk. Even his longtime fans are starting to tune out. The comment sections under his recent interviews are brutal. People write things like, "Jim has been lying so long, he forgot the truth, and now he thinks he can gaslight the whole culture." When the audience that built your career stops believing you, that's when it's over. It's not about hating on Jim, it's about accountability. He's been in the industry for over 20 years, and you'd think by now he'd learn to own his story. But every time he tries to appear smarter than the truth, he only highlights himself as the problem. That's exactly why fans are done. The man who once embodied Harlem's realness now seems like he's living in a fantasy.
What would you say to the people that say when Dipset was at their peak and it mattered most, you wasn't a good rapper? It was all about Cam and Joel's. They was the best rappers in the group.
Who cares about that? What the fuck are you talking about? That's what I don't understand. That makes no sense. At Dipset peak, he wasn't where he at right now. Well, I'm where I'm at right now. I got better. You heard? Most people have been in this game as long as I've been in the game and not here anymore. At all. They way gone. They can't compete. Not on this level. At all. I can compete at the top level right now. Period. Against anybody. Especially from my era group. I spank they boots. I don't care who you put in the booth for me. And I got the money to back it right now, tonight. That's the difference. Don't play no games. Tell them bring 100 tonight. Whoever it is. They not gonna come, bro. They know I'm vicious. I'm not one to play with when it comes to doing music at all.
The most unfortunate part of this situation is that Jim Jones could have easily gone down as a Harlem legend. He had the longevity, energy, and hustle to cement that legacy. But over time, his desire for validation started undermining his authenticity. Instead of owning his lane, he wanted to be seen as the mastermind. The problem is, the people who were actually there, Cam, MA, and even industry vets like Fat Joe constantly remind everyone who really put in the work. Take the "it is what it is" moments. For example, Ma, $E and Cam have a running joke where they call Jim out every few episodes. It's never malicious, just factual. They highlight his narrative changes, and fans love it because it's true. When Ma, $E said, "Jim's like that dude who copies your homework but still gets it wrong," the internet blew up. It was funny, but also accurate every time Jim tries to put himself at the center of Dipset history. It feels forced. And it's not just about old conflicts. Jim has been trying to position himself as the current face of Harlem rap, claiming he influenced younger artists. The reality, The new generation isn't focused on him, they respect his history, but they aren't quoting him. Artists like A Boogie, Vivio Foreign, and Dave East are carrying the modern Harlem sound. Meanwhile, Jim looks out of touch, chasing viral moments, interviews, or manufactured controversies to stay relevant.
I mean, and keep in mind that what I'm doing is for my era of music. You heard? It's a blessing that I'm still here and I'm still being able to be appreciated by the youth and the younger generation coming up. That's a super blessing right there. But when it comes to the people of my era, I want smoke. You dig? Whether they're active or inactive, I'm telling them, I want smoke. You heard? Don't care about no legendary status, none of that type of shit. None of that shit works on the street, bro. I want smoke in the booth. You heard? Who want that? Let's talk about that right now. Who want to meet me in the booth? You heard? We ain't even gotta come to the same studio. Let's be in the same building. You take A room, I take the B room. You heard? Just to make everybody feel comfortable, but I want smoke in the booth.
Last year, he even targeted Pusha T, calling him overrated and claiming he didn't have hits for New York. Fans immediately turned it back on Jim, reminding everyone how Pusha had dismantled Drake's Something Jim never accomplished. This sparked another wave of internet jokes, with people saying Jim picks fights just to stay in the conversation. And they're not wrong. Jim's brand used to be about loyalty and Harlem pride. Now it feels like it's built on excuses and contradictions. Every attempt to respond to critics only reinforces the perception that he can't take accountability. That's why fans are walking away. Realness is rare in this industry, and Jim has lost touch with his own roots while trying to maintain a manufactured image.
I mean, if we're looking at the rappers from your era, it's not many left that's rapping at a high level.
All right, well, yeah.
Jada, he's still here. He still got something left in the tank.
Jada,
Fab,
nice.
He's still spitting.
Fab is one of my favorite rappers of all time. He's absolutely dumb nice. Like on another level. Niggas really listen to Fab music, that nigga go crazy. Like that nigga is, from a New York standpoint, like that. Like you dig? So every place have their own music, you heard? I'm just coming from a New York standpoint, a tri-state area standpoint. We got our own thing and our own bop out here that we all appreciate and like that, you know what I mean? So we appreciate our New York rappers because there's a certain sound, it's just that.
At this stage, it's clear. Jim Jones is losing the one thing that defined him, people's respect. He still acts like the capo of Harlem, but when his stories don't match reality and his peers keep exposing the truth, the title doesn't hold any weight. Even his recent attempts to play peacemaker among Dipset members fell flat because no one trusts his version of events. It often feels like he's talking just to fill the air. Online reactions show it too. Fans who once cheered for him now call him out in real time. Clips from his interviews are reposted with captions like, "This man lying again," or "Didn't he say something different last month?" He's become his own meme not because people hate him, but because he continues to spin stories that nobody believes.
Feeling that, you know what I mean, that we get from certain rappers and things like that. And Fab is one of them, Jada is one of them, Fat Joe is one of them. Whenever JB jumping back out, he one of them, like you dig, like. But some of these people lost their rhythm and their cadence, you dig, like they still stuck where they was at, you heard, and people be getting confused, like you dig, I ain't even gonna get into it. But like I said, I want smoke. Only way to shut me up is to shut me up. Show me I'm bugging.
You think you can go bar for bar with Jada, Fab, or Jay-Z?
I go to bar with anyone. With anyone. You heard? There ain't no beating around the bush. I've been saying it, bro. I want smoke in the booth. You heard? That's the only way to settle this one. We all can put out dope freestyles. We all can put out dope music. I want smoke in the booth.
The saddest part is, it didn't have to go this way. Jim Jones had a chance to grow into a respected elder in hip-hop, the type of figure who gives advice, supports younger artists, and uplifts Harlem. Instead, he doubled down on the same ego-driven behavior that's followed him since the Dipset days. You can't demand respect while rewriting your own history. The streets remember too much. Even Cameron, who's been relatively quiet lately, Through a subtle jab on air, some people been lying so long they think it's the truth. Fans instantly knew who he meant, and when Ma Dollar E laughed and added, "That's capo behavior," the clip went viral. Everyone recognized that Jim Jones had been exposed live on their own platform.
Meet me there. You heard? Like the Thriller in Manila. Let's sell it that way. See how Beasley and Baby Bro just did the one-on-one? You heard? See how Beasley and Lance did? That's what I want. You heard? I want the one-up. I want smoke. I don't care about rankings, bro. I want smoke. I want smoke and I want money. You heard? A ranking never gave me $1 at all. When the ranking come with a check, then I'll be pressed about the ranking. But none of that should come with a check.
At this point, it's not about old beefs anymore, it's about legacy. Jim's career shows that you can't fake realness. The same Harlem that once elevated him now watches cautiously, waiting for him to finally keep it 100. Fans have officially moved on. They've seen the lies, the backtracking, the contradictions, and the staged tough talk. What remains is a man who built his reputation on loyalty, but lost it all to pride. In hip-hop, you can rebuild your career, but once credibility is gone, that's the end of the game.